Welcome back to proCode, where we break complex coding into exciting lessons. Now, in the previous part of our JavaScript journey, we got a brief introduction of the history of JavaScript, and in this video, we are going to get things started setting up our coding environment in VS Code. After that, we are going to learn what variables are, and we are going to then move ahead to the different types of data types we have got in JavaScript. By the end of this video, I have got a small little challenge for you, so try to tag along. Let's dive right in. First things first, you will need a code editor, and the best one for beginners and even pros is Visual Studio Code, or VS Code for short. To download this, just go to code.visualstudio.com and install it like any other normal app. Let me get my VS Code up. Now, here's a few things I would like you to do before getting into the coding part. So, when you have your VS Code open, just go to the extensions tab over here and download something called Live Server. This extension is going to allow you to just run your websites or creations just by a click of a button. So when you have this thing installed, what you can do is you can just go over to your HTML page and right click and then just click on open with Live Server, or just you have this little option called Go Live. So that's a really handy thing you can get in Visual Studio Code. So now to actually get this VS Code up and ready for you to actually write in code, what you can do is go to your Finder or File Explorer and just create a folder and then drag that folder over to your VS Code. So once you have done that, you will have this little page. Now this folder of mine was not completely empty, so let me just do that. Just for the sake we are at the same page. Now once you have this folder open in your Visual Studio Code, what you are going to do is you're going to click on new file and create a file which is called index.html. So with this opened, let me just type in the boilerplate code. Let me give this a title called JavaScript. Now to make this thing a little bit more interesting, what I can do is give this website a heading and type in JavaScript is fun, and once that's done, what we can do is we are going to link a JavaScript file, an external JavaScript file, to our HTML page. Now to do that, what we can do is just below the body tag, we can write in something called, we can add in a script tag by just typing in script, and then we are going to we are going to add an attribute called src and then type in script.js. Now obviously we are going to have to make a JavaScript file called script.js. So how about we just do that now, script.js, and that's done. Now that we have our HTML file set up, we can just run our website to preview that to preview all the JavaScript files we will write in this episode. So just right click on the file and you will have an option called open with Live Server, and there we have our website. Let's just open our terminal or console for some console. So we have our preview page also ready. Now let's go ahead and talk about variables to get things really started. For beginners, a variable is like a labeled container that stores data, a number, a name, anything. It's how we tell the computer, hey, remember this for me. So if I give you a real life scenario Suppose you have your study desk and you have two containers labeled pen and another labeled markers. So in coding language in JavaScript we can just type in let pens be 5 and let markers be 10. This exactly represents that scenario which I just talked about. So we have a study desk and we have got two containers labeled pens and markers. So we are telling the computer that we have a container called pen and we have a value of 5 in it. And similarly we have a label or we have a container labeled markers which have 10 as its value. So this keyword let is like an initialization keyword. So the moment you type in this let keyword, what computer is gonna know is that you are making a variable here. Now in JavaScript we have got 3 of these keywords to assign a variable. Now I'm sure some of you have heard this before. So one is let, as you can already see. Another one is called const, and last one is called where. So these are the 3 keywords we can use to assign a variable in JavaScript. What they all do is let can be used to assign variables which can change its value. So for example, if I just assign a variable called pens and assign it a value of 5 in it, so what I can do later here in this code, suppose I have this suppose I have code written all over here, and if for some reason if I wanted to change the value of pens suddenly in the program, what I can do is just type in pen and just assign any value to it, and that will work fine. Let me just see this, and hopefully it won't give me an error. How about we just preview this, and yeah, we don't have any error messages popping in our console, so we are good to go. What the second keyword does, it's called const, and as its name implies, it's for constant variables. Now constant means things that do not change or which are not intended to be changed. So for example, if I just declared a variable, a const variable called pens here, and then just try to manipulate its content, its value anywhere else in the code, you might see an error like this, uncaught type error. So what it says is assignment to a constant variable, and that is what I was saying to you. And the last one is called where. Now before ES6 was introduced, we had something called where for assigning variables. That was pretty much the only way to assign variables back then, and it still works, but it's kind of unpredictable because it ignores the block level rules and can cause bugs. Now you don't necessarily need to know what block level bugs are, and obviously we are going to talk about this in later videos. So yeah, you can just know that this exists and avoid using where, but know that it still works. So if you encounter a program which still uses where to assign its variable, so you won't feel uncomfortable, or you won't say that you don't know this. So this is another way of writing. So if I just console.log pens, you will see 10 over here. Now let me just zoom in a bit for you to just see it clearly. Now that things aside, now that you have 3 ways of writing, 3 ways of doing the same thing, you might have a question on what to use. Now my recommendation would be to stick with const as much as you can. For example, if you are making a variable, so try to make that variable with const instead of let or var. In fact, you have to avoid using var as much as possible. Just stick to let and const, as those are the two modern ways of declaring variables. Now, for situations where you know that you will have to change the value of that variable anywhere else in the program, you might need to use let there. Now, to summarize variables, just remember that use let for things that change, use constants for things that don't change, and forget var, like that one app you installed but never opened again. Moving ahead to data types. Now, with JavaScript, we have many data types, and actually first let me introduce you to the different what data types actually are. Once we have containers, you might need something to store in those containers, right? Now, though that something is called data types, and we have got a bunch of them in JavaScript. For example, what we have here, 5, is a data type which is called numbers. We also have a data type called string. Now, what string does is it stores in large pieces of text like this, hello world, and this is usually written inside a double quote. So whatever is written inside a double quote is called a string, and a string can be in a double quote or a single quote. So it doesn't matter if it's in a double quote or single quote, they both are strings. They both will be considered as strings. So for example, if I just type in this in a single quote, you won't see any errors popping out. Now, another one which is called a Boolean is a data type which which stores only two values, but they are true and false. So that is extremely important in programming, as you know that computer understand the machine language which works on zeros and ones, and 0 means false or off and ones means true. Letting that things aside, what you can do is assign a Boolean, and we can just check in values. So if I wanted to check a value, or if I wanted to create a function, or if I wanted to ask the computer if this thing is correct or not, so true or false, what I can do is just make a variable. For example, if I wanted to make a variable called is subscribed, and let me just assign that value to true. That's all for Boolean. Moving ahead, we have got two more data types, which is called array. Now let me just make an array. For example, if I wanted to name it ARR, and this array data type is written something like this. Now you write in the values in square brackets. Now, and you can assign multiple values, multiple elements into that one variable, array variable. So we are definitely going to talk more about array, as it's more complicated than you think now, but that is all you need to know for now. Another one is objects, and this is similar to what we have got with arrays. Now we can just assign an object, and what this data type does is it is written in curly brackets. It has some attributes you can store into them. For example, if I wanted to create an object, I can just add in an attribute called name and assign any value to that. Also, we have got an age, and we have also got a Boolean value here. That is all for objects, and this is also advanced stuff, and we are going to talk more about that in future lectures. So make sure to tag along, and yeah, that's all you can learn in this video. And how about a challenge? Now I want you to try this out. I want you to create a variable and name it your name, and store your name in it, And then second challenge would be to create a variable called your age and store your age in it. Third one would be use const for a value that shouldn't change, like a birth date or birth year. And then print out a message like, hi, my name is Amir and I am this years old and born in your birth year. Give it a shot, pause this video and try it and come back when you're ready. Now here's the solution for that challenge. Go ahead and match your solution with my solution. If you did that, you just combine variables, data type and console output. Boom, you're officially a beginner JavaScript developer. Now to wrap it all up, what you have done is you set up your VS Code, which is extremely important, and you have done that, so congrats on that. You have learned how to declare variables using let, const and where, and you also know that when to use what keyword to assign any variable. You have also explored the basic JavaScript data types, and you have completed your very first coding challenge. That's a ton of progress for one video. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and help the algorithm gods to bless my content. Subscribe to proCode because we have got an exciting journey ahead. In the next video, we are going to talk about the basic operators we have got in JavaScript. Leave a comment. I have survived my first JavaScript challenge, and I'll heart that for sure.